beef short ribs braised in red wine, that is some seriously good Sunday roast. Let's talk Sunday roast, which is one of my favorite topics. Who said that Sunday roast needs to be a beef joint or a pork roast or chicken? Why not beef short ribs? Beef short ribs are amazing because it's a cheap cut and it's super tasty, and when cooked well, it is absolutely glorious. So our Sunday roast is going to be with beef short ribs, slow braised until they break apart, with like a nice gravy, and my wife's secret, not after today, fluffy potato recipe. When you buy beef ribs, usually comes with a little bit of a fat cap at the top. I've taken that out, and I actually salted this last night and put it in the fridge. So for all you connoisseurs out there, you know that that's a dry brine. And I absolutely love dry brining because in doing so, you make sure that the salt goes inside all the meat, and also the meat fibers are gonna be tenderized by the salt process. Just do it overnight, put it in the fridge so that it's ready when you need it. What we're gonna do here is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ribs, and we're just gonna cut them in the middle to make 6 individual portions. And why do we slow braise them? It's because they've got all these lovely connective tissues inside, which are gonna render down and give a lot of flavor and making this very, very tender. This, if you don't cook it slowly, it kind of tends to become hard and chewy and not very pleasant. We'll start off with giving some great sear to the meat. So some extra virgin olive oil. I like to use the Olistico from Passo della Palomba. And by the way, make sure you have a roasting tray which is big enough. I figured out that I didn't, so I'm using my barbecue kit. Make sure you have something that has enough space to be able to put all 6 of your ribs, or how many ribs you're gonna have, into the roasting tray. Ribs go in. And as they sear, you take the smallest chopping board you can find in the house, just to make things practical. And we're gonna prepare some of the vegetables which we're gonna add to our tray. So just stick of celery, some bell pepper. This is gonna make everything taste sweet and delicious. We'll take 3 cloves of garlic, give them a squash, an onion, and we're just gonna cut this thing in 4. We turn these guys, make sure we get a good sear everywhere. And once we've done this in all the sides, you're gonna get this great sear. And this is so much flavor we're adding. By doing that, we're also creating the stuff at the bottom. The stuff at the bottom is mega flavorful, and we really need to pick it up. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna do that by adding some liquids. And these ribs are gonna be braised with wine, with red wine. You wanna use a full-bodied wine, like a Merlot, a Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm using a Merlot della Palomba, which is a Merlot from Umbria. And I can't stress this enough, when you cook with good quality ingredients. Even the wine that you use to braise this with, it needs to be a nice wine. So here we can put most of the bottle, and then we're gonna add some of these guys, and this is gonna form the base for our gravy. Our garlic, some beef broth, and we just add over it until we cover just about half of the beefs. What we're going for here is to cook from the bottom and steam from the top. Actually, I almost forgot, Christmas present for my wife. Let's put the meatometer into one of the bigger ones, and that will let us know how the cooking is proceeding. That goes in. So these guys go in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius, and they're probably gonna take 2.5, 3 hours. But halfway through, we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna turn them around and see how it's going. So stay tuned. We're about an hour away from the short ribs being perfectly cooked, so we get to start doing my wife's famous, super secret, up until now, recipe on how to make the perfect roast potatoes. So we've been part boiling them. Oh, this is hot. We've been part boiling the potatoes for 10 minutes in salty water. And you know how it goes, right? You put it in cold water, you let it go all the way to the boil, you let them boil for 10 minutes, and boom, that's done. So you put the potatoes in the pot, and you beat them up a little bit. Then you whack them around, and that helps them make it a little bit more fluffy. So this is breaking them up a little bit. We take some flour. I'm taking some Semola flour, but you can use all purpose. Just put it all the way around, making sure it goes a bit everywhere. And now we do the round 2 of beating them up. Okay. Then we take some extra virgin olive oil from Passo della Palomba, the Olistico. Oil the tray.
Don't be shy.
Thank you. Oil the tray without being shy. Our potatoes go in. Here, make sure that we got a little bit of space apart, and that's going to help them become crunchy all over. We're going to add some guanciale, and you can use bacon. This is going to crisp up, release some of the fat, and it's just going to taste gorgeous. A little bit of rosemary, and then we finish it off with some more extra virgin olive oil. So oven at 200 until we get it nice and golden, and halfway through we're going to turn them around to make sure they're crisp all over. So we cook the beef short ribs to 93 degrees and we let them rest for about an hour. So this is them ready. This one is just falling apart from the bone. Look at this. So let's put them in a plate because we now need to make the gravy out of all of this. So let us fish out the 3 cloves of garlic. We don't want to blend them. Let's transfer all this into a pot on the fire, and then we'll just blend it through. We're going to add a little bit of flour and let it cook through. So this is going to help making the gravy a little bit more dense. 3 spoons. The gravy is going to cook because we put flour, so it's important the flour cooks properly, otherwise it tastes terrible. And the potatoes, come check this out. They look amazing. See all these like crunchy little guanciale bits. Amazing. Okay. And now that they're nice and hot, let's salt them. And now that we got everything ready, it's time to plate and then go eat. And if you like this video, please put a thumbs up, comment and subscribe. We post new things every Sunday. Let's pour over some of the gravy. The smell coming from this is absolutely incredible. And this is an idea for an alternative Sunday roast. Buon appetito!